What can be seen on trail cameras can terrify us, like seeing the image of a gigantic creature on two legs, seeing some strange beings doing a ritual, some campers hearing terrifying sounds, or finding a hidden monolith in the middle of nowhere. Stay tuned and we'll look at each. This clip was taken by a couple who went with their RV in the forest for a short trip. During the night they heard noises coming from outside. Scared, they waited for things to settle down and afterwards went to check what it was. But they were surprised by what they found on their stairs. They can see steps on the stairs, but the footsteps are from someone who seemed not to be wearing any shoes. And what is more insane is that they are so much larger than one would expect from a man. Look at the husband placing his foot next to it just for comparison. The footstep they found is about 2 times larger. Whatever visited their RV, it was a huge individual, twice the normal size of a man. So what was it? These guys were camping in a forest in Northern California when their fun trip was interrupted by this terrifying sound. One of the guys tries to shout back to see if he can get a response, perhaps.
Hey!
But quickly goes back to whispering as he gets more terrified by the sounds. They start looking for keys in order to get into the truck and get out of there. The sounds becoming closer and closer.
Everybody get in my truck!
This is footage from a South American hospital and it has been getting a lot of attention because of how bizarre the clip is. What you will see is happening at night when not many people would be visiting. The guard takes out a clipboard and removes the barrier while continuing to look into a single direction. He seems to be writing something down while also clearly pointing and seeming to discuss something. He points down the hallway as indicating something to someone, even though no one is there with him. From another camera we can see the guard heading for a wheelchair and presenting it as if waiting for someone to sit on it. He proceeds to push down the hallway the empty wheelchair, but then quickly returns. In the morning, upon being asked what happened during that night, the guard said that around 3 AM an elderly woman entered the lobby, claiming to have left something in her room 915. He did his duty and wrote down her name and the purpose of the visit. He offered her a wheelchair to help her head to the room, but apparently he was rejected by the woman. He continues and says that after a while, noticing the woman has not returned, he called the ward to check, but was told that no one visited the ward. And when discussing with the other staff, he gave the details of the woman and was told that the woman staying in room 915 died on that night, a few hours before. So what really happened here? Is this just a story? And if that is the case, then why did the guard react like this? Why was he pointing and talking to someone that was clearly not there? In this clip we can see some tourists visiting the caves of Thailand, but their trip was interrupted by a strange sight. A group of monkey-like creatures were seen in shallow water or on the edges of rocks, playing some sort of instruments, and their instruments were creating some weird sounding music. They look like some small orangey brown creatures from Star Wars, and as the visitors were passing them in their longboats and kayaks, they could not take their eyes off of how strange everything seemed. But I have found the truth around this video. Despite their strange appearance, the creatures were actually performance actors, and the sound was coming from traveling vocalist Tori Raines, who had staged a bizarre scene with a local acting group for the tourists. A few years ago, a strange thing appeared in the Utah Canyon. A giant metal mystery slab captured the attention of millions, as people speculated over how such a structure came to be in a remote part of southern Utah. Theories about the origin of the mysterious monolith started appearing and many people compared it to the monolith from the famous 1978 science fiction film 2001: A Space Odyssey. However, the mystery surrounding its apparent real-life counterpart deepened when, just as mysteriously as it appeared, the metallic monolith vanished from the Utah desert. The sudden appearance and disappearance of the monolith fueled wild theories about its origin, ranging from extraterrestrial intervention to an elaborate hoax or an art installation. Despite the numerous theories, no conclusive evidence has been presented. But what is even more strange is that these type of monoliths started appearing in many other places on Earth. For example, a similar monolith appeared in Romania, but this one is not as well made as the other one, so it might as well just be someone trying to replicate the original. What do you think is the truth? Is there a reason for the appearance of these monoliths? And what are they used for? This image was sent by a viewer who claims to have caught a strange big figure on one of their trail camera in a forest in British Columbia. The figure appears big and hairy, and it could be a bear that got too close to the camera, but it does seem to be standing on 2 feet, which is not entirely unseen for bears, but it still has a humanoid resemblance. But even if this could be a picture of BIGFOOT, I am reluctant to say it is, given all the photo generation and manipulation we now have. So what do you think about this picture? Is this real or fake? Are we seeing BIGFOOT or just a bear on 2 legs? What exactly are we looking at? This video was recorded by a man who noticed something outside his window. Between the trees, a pair of eyes can be seen watching him, the gaze pointing directly to him.
Is that in the woods?
We could say it is a predator watching from the forest, which by itself would be terrifying enough. But what is more terrifying is that the eyes seem red. Be it truly a predator in the woods or just some distant lights that lined up perfectly, it would still be a terrifying thing to see at night, right before you wanna go to bed. I am not sure if this man did this by mistake or he knew what he was approaching. But this was truly a scary encounter to have. The man approaches a cave and peeks his camera inside it, but what he finds inside is really scary. We can see a big adult mountain lion staring back and slowly growling. Me personally, I would have instantly jumped back from that side, but he apparently sticks for a while to have a better look, at which point the mountain lion snarls aggressively to make him understand he is overreaching his luck. This man for sure was lucky that the mountain lion let him go with just that. This camera recorded something truly bizarre. You can see something resembling a naked human running around on all 4. The body and especially the limbs do seem to be of a human, perhaps a woman or a skinny man. The unnatural movements, however, makes me wonder what exactly is that. Many people claim this is the famous Skinwalker, known from the Navajo culture as being a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into an animal. But what do you think? Is this a Skinwalker, or are we just dealing with a man who took the wrong amount of a substance? We can see 2 guys biking on a forest track. They seem pretty well equipped for that, and also skilled as well. But they for sure are not prepared for what they are about to encounter. Suddenly, out of the trees, they are met with a terrifying sight. A grizzly bear jumps and starts chasing them. One of the guys shouts nervously as they begin to gain speed in order to escape the bear. The bear goes off track, trying to cut them perhaps, but the bikers stop going in the same direction. And I think they were lucky because the bear did not seem all that interested in them. It could have easily turned around and went for them when they stopped. This was filmed through the door. You never see his hands, always behind his back, which could mean that he is holding something, perhaps a weapon. And this was for sure a close call for the family. Imagine if they did not close the door in time. This video of a deer eating from a man's hand has been circling the internet, and people say that this deer was either shot in the face a long time ago or that it has some sort of mutation. But as weird as it does look, this is actually a moonjack deer. And what you can see on its face are scent glands that muntjac deer use to mark their territories. If you look closely, you will notice a V shape on their foreheads. These are known as their frontal glands, and they leave the scent by pressing their head onto the ground and trees. This is perhaps the cutest trail cam I have seen. A mama bear with its cub taking a bath in a natural pool. Mama bear seems more interested in staying in the water, perhaps relaxing from the stress of taking care of the little guy, while the cub, after a short swim, seems more interested in exploration. If you want to see more interesting or scary footage, then watch this video.